Welcome everyone. Today I'm taking a look at DarkMaus. DarkMaus is a Dark Souls inspired action adventure game. Obviously one of the main differences is that it's about a mouse and not about undead pygmy types. Also, it's top down, which is also very different. So one of the things that I think I talk about immediately is the controls. Now, I never played Dark Souls on PC or any of the Souls. I've only played Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I've played them all on console, and I believe I heard that the original Dark Souls, well, the port for the PC was not good. I know that, but I'm pretty sure I heard that playing it on the mouse and keyboard is very difficult. I think most people play with a controller. This game, it says a lot that you're supposed to play it with a controller. It's made for a controller, but you can play it with mouse and keyboard. You can, but the keyboard controls are not good. It's not very fluid, and it has gotten me killed quite a bit. Not as much as just my own incompetence or making bad decisions or just failing at fighting. But sometimes it has messed me up, and I'm kind of went the wrong way, even though it's not really what I meant to do. But sort of got janky and sort of just didn't work out. There's also a couple different options as far as the controller setting works. Like player online strafing, I've got marked off, in the world space WASD movement, which I don't want to use. In case you don't know what that means, it's basically it'll always go in the same direction. So it doesn't really matter where you are. So for me right now, I am pointed forward, W will go forward. Whereas if I had with the world space, W would go this way always. It'll always go up and always go down and stuff. So it's not where you're looking. And for whatever reason, one of the reasons that I find it difficult is because the way that it controls with the mouse, the way you're looking. I don't know, something about the controls, they're not great. And that's pretty admitted by the developer, who, by the way, I forgot to mention, is Daniel Wright. I don't know if he's made anything before. I didn't do any research on him. I've just been playing the game. I've played for probably about 2 hours now. I've encountered, or beaten one boss, I should say, not just encountered. And one of the first things I noticed, unlike a Souls game, the basic enemies are a lot harder than the bosses. And here's the boss I beat. It's just a giant crow. It wasn't a hard fight. What is hard about it is you have to take care of this bull before fighting it. And this is sort of the thing. Now, some of the control problems that you're probably going to see here from me are not the fault of the developer entirely. Some of it's I'm bad. I am bad with mouse and keyboard. But I've died. So that was sort of just a tough situation. I got myself back into a corner, and I wasn't able to get out. One, because of my skill, and then just a little bit because of the keyboard, mostly a poor skill there. It is a hard game, and it works very much like a Souls game. One difference is, although it's still the same mechanic, instead of Souls, you use bone marrow, and you lose it. It sucks and all that stuff. Another big issue with it, and this is actually an issue I would say, is that I can show off my inventory. Now, you can hotkey things weapons into here, into these slots, but you can't hotkey health items, and health items are morsels, small, medium. I'd say there's probably large morsels as well. I've not gotten that far, but the problem is that you can't hotkey them, and besides not replenishing when you go to a bonfire, they aren't hotkeyable. So what would happen is that, say I'm fighting that bull, and I'll go ahead and show off since I've got no reason to not to, I will lose. Alright, say I'm going up against the bull. Let me get to a point. Where is he? He should be right there. Alright, say I'm injured. I need to fight him. I need to heal. Oh, but I could have been taking a lot of hate there. He missed. But assuming he wasn't as incompetent as I am, that's an issue. And so not only does it take you completely out of the fight, but it also it messes you up by making you turn around. So that is something that I really think that they should work on. Yeah, so it's pretty good. So enemies do get hurt by bonfires. That is different from a Souls game. I like that mechanic. It can have you cowarding back. I don't know if I'll let him kill him. I'll try to kill him. I'll really try to go at him. Oh, okay. Taking some damage there. He doesn't want any of it. I will say that's another controller problem. I'm trying to do a lunge attack, and I'm doing it some there. But one of the issues is that, like, I'm just not always getting it. There we go. He's dead. Alright, we did pretty good there. Picked up a good amount of more, so that's pretty good. And then also, I've got, if I can switch to it, there it goes. Pyromancy attack. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but then again, my Pyromancy is not very high up. But I would say it's definitely a big issue, because not having it hotkeyable really is a problem, and I think they should definitely work on that. It's a very recent game, so they might still, but it just seems odd that that's a main mechanic of Dark Souls, and they didn't bring that over. They kind of brought like most of the other stuff over, but not that. Can also show another difference is that, so in Dark Souls or in Souls games, you level up all this stuff, you know, health, whatever, stamina, that's the same. And capacity, I think, is within strength. But all this stuff would level different things up. Like, say if you had a strength thing, that would make you be able to use heavy weapons. And then dexterity, you know, lighter weapons and bows and stuff, if I'm right. Well, it works like that, even though I forgot the specifics of what it is you can use wrong. However, to use weapons in this game, you have to level up the weapon skills themselves. Like there, I have a spear at 3. I don't need to, but I like using spears. It's what I beat Dark Souls 1 with the first time. And so I just figure, hey, you know what? I like being able to block while attacking. And then you can. Also, though, there are less move types, I should say. You've got, you know, this one, and then you've got a heavy. And then, of course, with this one, you've got a block and attack. I don't believe that there's a parry. There might be, like, this might work as a parry. I don't know. But, like in Souls, there's an actual parry button. There is not in this. And then you've got the lunge, which I forgot to do the attack. You've got a lunge strike as well. And you can also, in theory, attack while lunging back, but it doesn't work the same. Whereas, like in Dark Souls, you know, the backwards lunge, you plunge, and then when you attack, he would, you know, kind of jump back and then swing forward. That is not in this game. There's just a backwards lunge where you attack backwards, but it's not really a move. It's just an attack after lunging backwards, which is fine. It's less in depth, but at the same time, it is made by like one guy, so you know I can't really blame him if that. You know, he wasn't able to program that. I think it is still pretty decent. Movement is very important. I can even tell, even though I'm using mouse and keyboard, I'm not great with mouse and keyboard, and the controls are not ideal. It is still fairly competent. A lot of encounters are based off of off your movesets, or not off your moveset, but off of your ability to move around and use the weapons. And I will switch weapons here. This is a long sword. It's a heavier thing. I'll get into that in a second. I just want to kind of move around. Okay, so that's a lot different than attacking with my spear. One, it kills them. That would not be a one hit for all this thing. So that made that a lot easier. Spear, you can still attack the crows, but you kind of have to wait for them to land or get right on them. But for now, I just want to move up just to show a little bit of extra stuff off. So I am still very early on in the game, and let's see, right up here. All right, so we have these guys. So I imagine you're supposed to get to them from this end, but we got lucky. Yeah, almost killed him. So that's a good dodge back. This might. Yeah. Oh no, he's blocking. All right, I gotta back out. Gotta back out. Gotta back out. Oh, come on, don't die. Yeah, you suck. All right. Yeah, back up. Yeah, I got past him. All right, good. Small morsel, and I'll shut that off. And we can eat that. So it is pretty good. But again, there's obviously the issue with that. Hold on. What do we get there? Awesome. Now I will show off another thing about this that is similar to Dark Souls. So I'm wearing some leather armor. It doesn't look like leather to me. It looks like chainmail, but whatever. It does increase your movement speed, or decrease your movement speed with the weight. You can see is 0.5 whatevers. I mean, I wouldn't really know what you would make it for a mouse. But it's obviously a lot different. Also, we've got a different shield. You start with the practice shield, and then you get the wooden shield and all this. You do just start out as whatever, just a warrior. You start with the practice shield and short sword. That's what you start out as, and then you find this pretty quick, and different weapons, whatever. I haven't found a bow. I found this, an arrow chime, but I don't I don't have any bows or arrows. So obviously it works like Dark Souls in the sense that your carrying capacity, you're not carrying capacity, your weight dictates how much you can move. Right now I've not really got a big movement speed penalty, 87, that's pretty good. My equipped weight is 70, and my stability is 20, so basically stability is when I'm blocking, I'm less likely to get my block broken. So that's good. I'm fine right now, as far as I can tell. I'm not really good up against, I would say, 2 bulls, which I have run into. Obviously, these guys have done a lot of damage. 35 marrow. I would really like to get to a bonfire. Well, let's see how we were supposed to find them. Oh, found that bonfire. So bonfires work, I would say, almost exactly like they did in Dark Souls. So basically, you get all your health back, but you can also level up and stuff, but enemies repopulate, except for bosses. As far as I know, there aren't other types of enemies that don't respawn. I'm going to level up real quick. I'm probably going to level up my health. It's always important. My stamina. Actually, I'm going to do my health down again, sorry. And then I'm probably going to up my... I haven't really had a big issue with this yet, so my dexterity. So there we go. And then he does a nice little dance, which I like, and it's different. And we also got a new ability. I kind of forgot about abilities. Abilities are also a lot different. Whereas I didn't start with the running sweep attack, or the dodge, or any of this stuff, which I haven't come across Ghost yet. But I assume those work just like, well, what do they call it? Phantoms, maybe, in Dark Souls. I don't know what you call the NPCs that will fight with you, and I think maybe some people call them different things. Okay, so this is your parry. So this is obviously not immediate, and then he does the dance again. But so we will see if these enemies, they do in fact repopulate. Okay, but bosses do not. Now you can't rest at a bonfire to get away from enemies. They'll still follow you and fight here. You won't be able to rest, so you can still die. But if I didn't say it, just like in Dark Souls, you can pick up the stuff that you left behind. It's a blood splatter, exactly the same. Let's see. Another thing I kind of I find about it is that the boss fight. I've only had one boss fight, and I did say a little bit. It was easy. It was really, really easy. All I did was block it and then attack, and I had the spear, and it went down quick. I mean, it was maybe a 15-second fight. Very boring. Very boring. In fact, I think I pretty much stayed in one place, just circled around. I may have moved a little bit, but not much. I didn't dodge out of the way. It was an easy boss. So that's already different, but I guess in theory, maybe I was good for fighting with spear. Now I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't be able to fight that enemy very well with a spear, but I was able to. Whatever, it won. So the next boss might be crazy hard. That was probably a tutorial boss, really. I will say I'm a little mesmerized by the tail. He spins around really, really quick. I'm okay with that. You know, this game is still, it's a little visually, I don't want to call it simplistic, but, you know, obviously it's not like this isn't an amazing animation. But I do like it. It spins quick. Another problem, and this isn't a big problem, but it's a problem that the developer could easily fix and should, is that on the Steam page, it says it requires an i7. It doesn't have a maximum minimum. It just has requirements. I don't even have an i5, and the game is running just fine. I showed the options. I didn't really talk about them. I could raise this up, and it'll be full screen. That's it. That's all I can do. These are the options that there are. I've only messed around to get it into Windows mode and change my strafing. The only reason it's in Windows mode is because OBS doesn't record very well with full screen, and I'm not smart enough to get it to do so. They need to definitely kind of work on that kind of stuff. Another thing they should work on is it says partial controller support. Now I don't know how well the controller works, but I hope it works really well because it says it's designed for it, and it most certainly is not designed for a mouse and keyboard. That is the truth. Okay, we took quite the hit. I want to back away from that. Where's he at? Okay, there's a couple guys. I'm just gonna back up here. You know what? I don't even want to deal with this. I just don't even want to deal with that. But So far, so it's $19.99, or not 10, sorry, $9.99. So it's $10 US on Steam. This is a pretty easy thing to deal with, isn't it? Oh, they're able to attack me from there. Okay, this is a tough situation we're in. All right, we're just gonna go down here. No, I'm not having a good time with this. So we'll reset where they are. And you know what? I'm gonna crazy rush in here, screaming. Probably, if I had to guess. Oh, I was really hoping that to kill him. Yeah, you're dead. Oh, yeah? Well, I'll get you guys too, then. Oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, you're different. Look at you. Ooh, you're not as sophisticated as I am. Yeah, but you're dead, so it doesn't really matter. I like it though. I do like it. I said once before, kind of just to myself, I did a sort of, I would really say a test recording of this. Okay, it just barely got me. But you saw the hitbox. It got me in my arm. It didn't do a crazy amount of damage. That's good. I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. All right, we'll get that. What we got? Just some arrow. Okay. Alright, just showing off this. So I think it's a pretty decent game. Hopefully the developer will continue to support it. It's not an early access game. It is it's a released. I mean the version is whatever. 1.01 I think. So, you know, that oh, I'm being hunted. I don't know what that means. Get out of there. Okay, you know what? I'm bailing. Yeah, I'm bailing. I shouldn't. You know, what does that say about me? Okay, it says I'm an idiot and should not stand there. Hello. Okay, now if I had to guess, that was maybe a real person. I don't know. I didn't know that was a mechanic, but the way they're attacking me is something that other enemies don't do. So that's probably a real yep, that's probably a real player. There's also that mechanic. I didn't even know that. And my health is temporarily reduced. Why? I don't understand. Okay. I'm not 100% sure how long that lasts. Hopefully not forever, because that is annoying as shit. But either way, I think it's a good game. I will say there is one more thing I forgot to talk about, and that it's NPCs, the way it works. Now, the first time I interacted with an NPC, it was a what was it called? An escort mission, which I know people don't like those, but it's fine because they actually fought with it. She had an arrow, and that was the first NPC, and also gave a little bit of the story, which I don't feel like I need to talk about. It's very similar to Dark Souls, you know, basically. Instead of a random curse, it's a necromancer that causes it. You know, that's the difference, which I think is fine. You know, that's perfectly medieval or perfectly fantasy, I think. Necromancers I think they're kind of underused, although they've been kind of used frequently recently. Which, whatever. You know, they were used in the Hobbit movies. Not in the Hobbit book, though. But either way, I think it's okay. And the way that works, I think basically you complete them with the mission, but they're fine. They do take damage. The NPCs that you help escort, the one I did, they take damage, but they take a lot of damage, and it doesn't seem like enemies really aggro on them too much. So she did really well. You can also give them morsels to heal them. So I don't know why I got attacked, but I did. Oh, I'm dead. Okay, plenty of death, and I've lost my what do you call it? My marrow. But yeah, is the game good? I think with a controller, it's probably really good. I really wish I had a controller to plug up. I don't have a controller compatible for it. That is a fault with me. I should have one at this point, but I don't. So hopefully you can maybe find someone who says, oh, it works great with the controller. But I will say mouse and keyboard, you can work with it. You can work around. So it's not terrible. It's just not great. But they do say, he's upfront about it, that it is not designed specifically for mouse and keyboard. It's designed for a controller. So there's that. And also, you don't need an i7. That's a lie. You just have an i5 or whatever I have. Like, my computer is not a gaming PC. I play games on it, but not very well. And I have it on as close to max as max can be, I guess. Let's take a look at the credits real quick just to see if there's anything else. Okay, so there's a couple people. I would say the music is not it's not bad. It's just background noise, though, really more than music, I would say. It does kind of give a vibe. What I do like about this, and this is something is purely aesthetic, is that it's about small animals. And I read Redwall when I was little, and I gotta say, something I remember about Redwall that it doesn't seem to be a theme in those books. I may just be a false memory if you ever read them by Brian Jacques. Is that there was a scene where a villain fell off of a carriage and got his head busted open by the wheel of the carriage when they were fleeing, and that was so brutal to me. And I may have just been wrong. That might be a false memory, but that feels like something that would not be in a children's book. But there's something I really like about the idea of rodents or small animals being in high fantasy or just normal fantasy. I think it's fun, and so I liked that they did that. I'm glad that they chose rodents to do this with instead of just like other people. So how does it go? I think this is a pretty good game. I would say it's definitely worth $10 if you really liked Dark Souls. Give this a go. Absolutely give it a go. Now, if you hated the idea of the Soul series because you don't like dying and stuff, then don't, because you're gonna die a lot and that's frustrating. And oh, that was stupid. I was just playing around though at that point. I wasn't able to design a character. You can't do that. You can name them, but I don't believe you can name them. Or sorry, I don't believe that you can design them or anything. This is just what it looks like. So what I hope for this is I hope that the developer continues to support it with more content and stuff, even though there's plenty in it. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm only about 2 hours in. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's not the most amazing game. I would say if you liked the Soul series or any of the Soul series, give this a go. You might also enjoy it. And if not, of course, you can always get a Steam refund on it.